We are live from DJ Nasty's studio. Systems in place. Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's cracking? What's up?
Hey guys, welcome back.
We are on episode number 5.
Numero 5. What's up?
Give me 5.
Yeah.
High five. High five.
Cinco de no drinko.
Cinco de no drinko.
We're lame. We're taking care of our liver today.
Always. We're going to start taking care of our liver and everything else.
Our lungs.
Our lungs, our liver. We've kind of been, I think that's part of like growing up, right? That you start like, when you start reinventing yourself and like we have this little quote that you say like, put on your crown or fix your crown, you know, like start fixing things in your life, you know. And once you start fixing one thing, you start seeing that you have like another little bad thing over here, and you're like, oh, gotta do that one too. So being mindful and stuff like that. But definitely we're going one day at a time.
Yep.
You know,
go get your teeth cleaned. Update your resume. That's a good one.
Yeah, actually that is.
We're gonna go dentist soon.
I just updated mine, and then I realized I had another certification, and I went in there the other day, and I was like, oh, I have that too, bitch. Hire me.
See. Oh, Indeed. Do you have Indeed?
I do, but I don't use it, and I always get that people saw my profile or something. I don't even know what's on there. I don't know. Oh. Yeah, I don't know.
Indeed's a good one to have. Indeed. You always have like, there's a lot of options on there. Like, there's a lot of cool things on there. So.
Yeah, that's a good one. Indeed.
It's just hard to keep up with all of those.
Yeah, I don't even keep up with my social media, really. I just post it for myself. I'm selfish.
I know, right?
That's a good thing.
It's kind of hard to do that, though. I mean,
yeah, especially when you're trying to have a business.
Yeah, when you're trying to stay on there, I think you get like you kind of do get a little anxious when you're like too much on social media. You do kind of feel that little vibe that kind of goes on, but that's kind of weird. It's kind of like I wonder like how my parents used to do it before, like when we were like maybe back in like when I was like into the 2000s or like 1999s, you know, when they barely started building their businesses, or even other people, you know, it was like a lot of it was word of mouth and stuff like that, which, as you can see, like coming back right now, like a lot of that is working nowadays because a lot of, you know, businesses, you know, right now have kind of gone underground and undercover, or like, you know, are kind of just doing backdoor little things. And so it's like word of mouth. Hey, you know, my business starting here. Oh, está bueno las cosas acá. So, you know, está bueno las empanadas. Está bueno los. I see a lot of Mexicans doing like the Mexican breads. Dang. But yeah, like we grew up in our parents' business, kind of going into this like the business model that we were kind of brainstorming today on this, which is parents and their and taking their kids to work. Since a very small age, we grew up with our parents at a jewelry store, and it was like a video store, and so I was able to watch like pretty much any movies like that were right there. And it was funny because there was back then they had these little tags that they're on hooks, and the people would grab them from the movies that were all on the shelves, and then we'd bring it to us, and then we would have it on the shelves too, and then we would pick the number of the movie A 202, so then we would look for 202, and that was like Lethal Weapon, you know. So you pull out Lethal Weapon, and then it's like, okay, so it's rewinded, and you give it to the kind of customer, so you make sure that it's rewinded too, so when they get home they pop it in and they enjoy a movie since the beginning. So my parents, I think they enticed us to do was like to rewind the tapes, because obviously like you gotta sit there and like rewind it. Back then there was like a little cart that you press and you like fast forward. That's back in the day.
Literally fucking 15 years ago.
I know, right? That was 15 years ago.
Was it? I just guessed.
What, 20? No, 20. Like if it's in the 2000s, we're 2020. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, practically. So like I said, you know, like the customer would be charged like 50 cents or a fee, like, you know, 50 cents, 75 cents, and then that would be part of like the whole and then there would be like, tú te quedas con eso. So you stay with that, and then we would be able to like, you know, pocket in like 50 cents and go to the store, go down to the store. So that's how they helped us be able to like kind of stay focused in the business and help them out, you know, kind of give us that little piece of dopamine. So you're like, hey, you know, you're like being part of the business. It's helpful. And, you know, and us as parents, we go like, hey, you know, you know, you're helping me. You're a big boy. You're a big girl. You know, you're learning how to be, you know, a better person in life. You know, you're going to be able to have something of value later on in your life, you know, and that's what you want to give your child, and whoever it is that you're raising, you know, that little person that you're raising looks up to you, you know, whatever which way, you know. Like I saw my dad working countless days and Christmas and holidays and weekends, and like if we weren't at the shop, sometimes it was like at the swap meet on like the weekends, and you would go on the Sunday and then go sell like dresses, and then he would do repairs and watch batteries. And so little things like that I mean, like I've learned through the years. Like I can take apart your watch and like change the battery with my knife, and like go look for the battery at Walgreens. I know the batteries and stuff like that, and I'll change it and I'll put it for the time. So like little things like that you see from your parents, that sometimes like when you're growing up, you're like, man, I freaking hate being here. Like this is like you know, like you're like, what am I gonna do here? You know, I can see maybe my kids too, like my daughter too. Sometimes you're like, we kind of go back and forth with, you know, clients on the weekends where, you know, I have to go to their shop and like maybe install a sticker or install or talk to them for a little bit about their new sign that they want. So my daughter's like, are we going to, you know, for business, or are we just going to go hang out and stuff? So she knows, she's like, if not, then I don't want to go, you know.
She's
but I'm
like, am I on the payroll? Am I going to get something out of this? Or you just...
So, but it's part of like, yeah, you have to like give them that little esa cosita para
that
que
incentive.
Yeah, the incentive for them to be able to come with you and learn something too, man. Because like honestly, like these little people, they look up to us like so much, and like te sorprenden in the weirdest times, you know what I mean? Because one day my daughter's like, I want to be like you, and I was like, well, in what type of aspect? You know, and she was like, well, because you do DJ, and then like you do graphic design, and like people like know you everywhere. And I'm like, oh, like, yeah, that's true. Like, that's pretty cool. She's like, yeah, that's like, I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. I was like, well, you can,
cute.
I was like, you can do whatever you want, you know, as long as you enjoy it and you love it. People will pay for it. People will pay you to do anything you want, you know, anything that you like. That it's a little bit of art that we all have. I think I heard the other day the guy in the radio, he said, sometimes people think that they don't have a talent. The fact, you know, because, you know, talents, sometimes people think like as in sports, art, or like acting and singing and like all these big talents that you see that get paid like millions and thousands of dollars. But in reality, every single little thing that you do, as long as you do it constantly every day and you practice it, you know, it becomes a talent. It becomes, you know, like un don that you will have for the rest of your life, and you will be able to like practice it. And as long as you have that, like nobody will ever be able to take that away from you. Like as long as you are that person, like, you know, it won't be able to take it away from you.
Do you guys hear the kids yelling?
Yeah. It's fine, they're playing, it's okay. It's part of like having the podcast in, you know, this badass studio. You know, we get like this little cool voiceover of kids. It means they're having fun. It means that we're doing a good job.
You know, I was in Mexico this weekend, right? And you know, kind of like what you're telling me, it's like you remind me of my uncle, that he's actually the one that told me about La Mona. And I was
La
like,
Mona.
we literally were having a conversation. It was him and his wife. And, you know, we were just like, she's a seamstress and he's a mechanic, but he is super smart and he can do like everything. He can do electricity, he can do gardening, he can like set shit up. Like he's just in so much plumbing, and he learns so many things throughout the years, and he just doesn't stay in one place, and he's just like pretty much a handyman that can do everything. And so he's just like telling me like I can't just sit down in one place. Like sometimes I want to go do this, a veces me llaman de la cementera and like this and that. He just does it all. And he works for himself. Like people will call him throughout the day. Like today, my aunt, her friend called her asking her if she knew someone that can help her fix like the plumbing or something. So she calls him, and then he goes and fixes it. And he calls my aunt like, oh yeah, I already took care of it. Like it was this and that, and like, you know, and then I don't know. It was just like a big hookup because the lady was selling Christmas trees, so she was gonna hook him up with the Christmas tree. So it's like, just how it all just goes down. It's like
you intertwine with people, like,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's not even about the money, like it's about helping one another. Like you say, like it's a jack of all trades. You're like, pues de todas maneras, pues, I know whenever I may need something, like she's right there for me and she's gonna help me out. And it's the same thing. Te hablan, llega el don y listo para arreglar cualquier cosa. He's a handyman, jack of all trades, helps out. And so, you start making these relationships with people, and even with your kids too, because you start noticing your kids too. Like I know my parents, they were very lenient of anything that we were doing. You know what I mean? Because if you want to work, comfortably, and that you have to give something or give up something in order to receive something else. Because if siempre estás, hey, cállense niños, hey, stop, hey, shh, no, I'm trying to work here. And no, because they are also giving up some of their freedom to be at home, and they can be chilling and doing that, but no, they're also being here and being part of like the whole thing. So I mean, it is being mindful of everything around you, and I think that makes every human being even more better to work with. You know what I mean? I think that's what it teaches you too. That's what working with family, working more closely with people that and then you love, that is what makes everybody more humble in that aspect of life. Like, so I think a veces if we're just at home, estamos like nomás kind of just thinking about what like the vecina is doing or whatever. So I didn't grow up doing that, like I didn't grow up in the neighborhood of that. Éramos nomás estábamos aquí en la casa to come and sleep, so that's pretty much it. So I mean, V, I know that you today, like you said, like you had like a little problem like with or you just felt out of place. I don't know if it's a problem, because to be honest, it's just, I don't know if you want to explain a little bit about it, but like it's not really, to me it's not a problem, because I mean it's more like of a comentario que alguien dice, that somebody says like to throw you off, and you're just like, whatever. So, like you said, it's my business, I pay my rent, and I do what I need to do to get by. You know what I mean? Because that's the way my parents did it. I bet you thousands of people were probably like, ¿y tus hijos siempre están aquí? Wow, siempre están. Because there's times when 7 days a week you had to be at the shop. You know what I mean? Like my parents were like, the rent's not gonna wait. Who's gonna wait for the rent? Wow. You know what I mean? So it's like part of.
And where are they gonna leave you guys?
Yeah, and where are you?
And this and that. And I can relate to that. Today was definitely a challenging day because I had to bring Ezekiel with me, which I've done before, but today was differently. Like I brought him in when I have like one client or like a client that I know and knows him, and it's like we're good. But no, today I work all day. I schedule myself fully back to back, and Edwin takes care of him, so we're good. Well, Edwin couldn't take care of him because he couldn't. He actually sliced his finger this weekend, and he was in the ER, got stitches, crazy, so he couldn't. And
it's true, she sent me a photo.
It's disgusting. It's crazy that happened to him. So he really couldn't take care of him today, and he so I took him to work, and I took everything with me, like the whole house. I brought the little wagon with his blanket, his everything, so he would be good, because I was going to be back to back, and we're talking from 12 till 5. I think we finished like 5:30, 5:20.
Wow.
That's a lot. Mm-hmm. We had a little tiny break, and that's when I went to make sure to feed him like food. Mm-hmm. But he had snacks and food and everything. Like he was set. He was set. And he
always has the snacks.
He does. I always make sure he has his snacks, because it's, it's important. And sometimes we go from here to there, pick up wigs or whatever we need to do. So we, somebody made a comment, and it was, like at the time, it was just, I don't know, it was just out of place. It was just not right. Like you have no idea what it's doing, like what I'm doing or what's going on top of that. And that's why it's nice to be mindful about, like, you don't know what other people's like issues are or what they're dealing with in the daily life. So can you just be kind? I think we just dealt with Be Kind Day. So it's like, can we be kind? Because That's just out of place. But the point is, it's like, it's crazy how somebody can get in your business like that when you're just trying to survive. You're just trying to do your thing. And it's like, mind your own business.
Even like, I mean, even right now in the pandemic, I mean, like,
I think
I swear, like, you know, like people like Sassen, you know, like you think what? You think I want to have my kid here? Like, he has preschool. Trust me, like he would probably be in preschool right now. You know what I mean? Or you know, whatever is, you know, like, or Head Start. You know,
well, he did have school. He was in school for like, you know, in the morning. But I mean, like,
yeah, but COVID, everything, like all the kids are everywhere. Like, what do you like? My parents, trust me, if this would have happened a long time ago, trust me, would have been at the shop working through COVID. You know, nonstop, trying to find a way to hustle, trying to find a way to make money. Pay bills. You know what I mean? Pay bills. It's part of everything. It's just you have to hustle it. Nobody's gonna come and give you. Hey, you know, are you here home? Oh, let me buy a wig from you. You know, what's cracking? You know, they're not gonna come and look for you right there. No, they want your office. They want your space. And trust me, you know, like, you know, and like you said, as you start growing and you start building, now you're more conscious of this, and you're gonna be like, oh, now in my next salon, I'm gonna have a little area for my, you know, just in case of an emergency, I can bring Ezekiel with the computer, have some books, have a little playpen area for him, and it's stuff like that it's gonna be mindful that he's gonna think about, like, oh man, it's not gonna be like a thing that he's gonna remember your shop as like dreadful, like you're going there like, tengo que ir a trabajar.
He actually loves Wigs by VN. You know? Like, if he'll be like, oh yes,
so it's gonna be like, oh, even more fun, you know. He's gonna be like, oh yeah, of course I go and have fun, and then I'm working with mommy, and you know, we're, you know, getting paid, you know, got his snacks and everything. So it's part of, like, you know, the environment that we build to around you know, our clientele, and also to our kids, now that we have these businesses that I think we have to push everybody to start building. I think we're getting into that era where there is, we've been pushing this on everybody, and it's like, it's a time to build, time to like start doing your YouTube, time to start doing your, you know, your tutorials, start doing your small business. If you want to start selling cupcakes, if you have a really bomb ass fucking tres leches flan, what's cracking, hit me up, I'm down for that. You know what I mean? If you're, you know, if you got a little talent, it's just, everybody has their little talent. Just find it and be able to find that little niche and put it on your social media. Trust me, you'll be surprised by the people that hit you up, that get it, and just support it for a little, you know, and you'll build it. You'll build it as part of the whole.
But you have to believe in it, because if you're just there and it's like, oh, that's what you want, but you're not going for it, then it's never gonna happen. Yeah. You have to go for it. So the same thing with like what you growing up, your parents had to do that. It's not like if they obviously had a choice to leave you at home with the sitter or whatever, they would probably do that. But I'm glad they didn't, because then you wouldn't have the mentality that you have now.
Oh, yeah, most
you
definitely.
would not be the way you are if you didn't have that. And I feel like it's super important to have Ezekiel part of it, and that's why I call him Easy CEO, and I always say you're the CEO, because I want him to get it in his head. He is a CEO. He's the CEO of his life. He can do whatever he wants, and he has to just believe it. Like, a lot of times I'll be like, oh my God, Papi, you look so awesome, or you're so handsome. Yes, thank you, Mom. And he's just like, yes, like, or you're so smart. Where I catch him telling me like, ooh, Mom, you're so smart, because I tell him that. He does things, I'm like, ooh, you're smart. That was a smart move, or things like that. And now he tells me I'm smart. And I'm like, oh, I am smart. Like, it makes me think. I'm like, I am smart. We are all smart, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, you're giving out those good compliments to him, so he wants to give him back. There's some good vibrations in everything that we encounter, and also that we teach our kids and stuff. And you know,
and that's how flowers grow too.
Yes. And I'm glad that you guys were able to hear them in the background, because they're here. I mean,
we're working, like, you know, like working. So it's part of, like, you know, we're trying to build a little, you know, our own little show on the side, and you know, we're trying to make a little bit of difference and change in our lives, and want to bring you guys with us, and that's part of it, part of the podcast that we want to bring in. And you know, having our kids, you know, they're always up and stuff like that, and they love to hang out.
But it's like that you guys get the truth of like what we deal with, just like you guys. Like, if you guys have kids or certain things, it's like, it's just, we're just putting that.
So how was your guys' weekend?
Weekend was pretty dope. V?
My weekend was great. I actually, Saturday I worked all day. And then Sunday I went on a hike, which was great because I hadn't done that for, I guess, a few weeks. I don't even remember. But I mean, if I don't remember, that's bad. I used to go every weekend when the whole like shutdown and stuff. But it felt really good. We went to Potato and it was just potato chip and it was just so nice. So that's really what I did. It was just nice. I was supposed to go to an event, which I was really upset that I didn't go because it was for it was literally like a young kid, baby. He was fighting cancer and I really wanted to go, but I actually just fell asleep. I had a bad migraine.
Was that Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday. Yeah.
Saturday I worked overtime over there on my job. We have this huge Chipotle order for their floor decals.
Cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, so I pretty much run that machine.
Chipotle,
if you want to get some Chipotle.
have you seen that he goes Chipotle, the guy, the little kid?
No, I think
I need to show it to you.
Is that a commercial?
It's a thing on Instagram. Sorry. Or like a Twitter thing.
We have Bella needing a lot of love today out here.
Yeah.
She came.
Look at her.
She ran in after
She's
little.
such a sweetheart.
I know. Why? She's like, just like, love me.
She's like, I'm just going to lay my head right here and you're going to scratch it.
But yeah, so I worked a little bit overtime. Remember I said I wasn't going to drink? I drank on Friday.
I had a shot on Friday. That's all I drank this weekend.
I feel guilty. And that's true because that's all I had this weekend. I didn't have a drink on Saturday, and I didn't have a drink on Sunday, which I felt very proud and empty. And
I think you should be very proud. Are you kidding me?
I am. Yes. I am very proud but I went out with my homeboy for a little bit to Sublime.
Oh, you went?
Yeah, I went out.
That's cool.
We had like a pizza, and then so we're just chilling with the boy, just smoked a blunt, just hung out for a little bit, but. I don't know. Sometimes it just feels like, that social thing that you want to do. Yeah. And if I feel bad because, I had a homegirl tell me the other day, I was like, man, she was talking to me about like, your mindset and your mentality and, and how, like not being weak, like pretty much she called me like weak, like not me, but like lo estaba diciendo in that context of that conversation. Cool. And she was like, I just, see people like that, that can't control their mindset or their weakness, like I see it as like as a faultiness, but okay, you don't really need that, but I think in the atmosphere that I've grown up my whole life, I feel like I've needed that and I've had that, and I've always just been that person, like get on it, drink alcohol, and then like wow, woo, right, and then but to try to transform myself into like a person that doesn't need that and keep on doing parties, because I have done parties. I've done a lot of parties without even have to drink, but it just comes to the point you're just like, oh yeah, you don't need it, and just to be mindful of that. And I think it comes down with like
taking music to my ears right now.
Yeah, like to being able to like like when you start cleansing yourself and start figure out little things that are wrong with you, you start noticing another thing, another flaw. And they're not even, it's not that they're bad, but they start resonating more because you're clean. You're starting to be like, you're starting to hold yourself in a higher ground. And yes, look at us, like it resonated with me, respect yourself more.
Yes.
Like take that, whatever you're taking in, respect yourself more from that, why would you give like nasty alcohol to your kids, or like what would you give like nasty like food to your kids, or why would you give that to your body? You're giving that, it's your vessel, like, I mean, obviously I think I've always known that, but
you're waking up.
Yeah, like when you start, like when you hear it from somebody else, or somebody that maybe that you look up to more, or stuff like that. I mean, I guess it just depends who it comes from.
And you've always known it, but now you're implying it to your life.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. That takes like real, like it's hard to do such thing, and it just takes something in life to make you realize, like, okay, that's not what I want nor need.
Yeah, that's not what you want or need.
To achieve.
And definitely, if you want to achieve anything, you have to let those go.
Yes.
Because I'm like, fuck, you Wigs by V's 4 years. I have this other friend, business started 3 years ago, 4 years also. you know, and super successful, going and building. And so it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I was there 5 years ago there with them too. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, but what are the things in your way that have stopped? You know, and y hasta que no, you don't start noticing that you are the only person holding yourself back from whatever it is that you want to do, you are not going to be able to get to that. You know, you're not going to be able to be that successful person. You're not going to be able to have money because you don't know what you want. You're going to just have the money that will just come in and it's just going to go wherever the hell it's going to go to.
I think what she said in a way makes sense, because I feel like that was what's stopping me from getting to my bag. Was I was just carrying too many people around me, and I was trying to put into all these people because I saw a bigger picture, right? And it was just like I was what's that term? I was spreading myself short, or cutting, what is it?
Cutting yourself short.
Or spreading yourself short. Yeah.
Spreading yourself thin.
Or spreading yourself thin.
Yes, that's what it was. Sorry, I'm a little high.
Yes.
And it was true. I was just always trying to be everywhere, doing everything. If someone needed me to do something, I would do it. If someone needed me to help them with something or connect them with someone, I would do it. And it was just like I was just putting out all this energy into everybody else besides me. And then, you know, then I just decided I'm just going to do it. And so I started my brand. You know, people I don't even know, like never met, have bought my shit. And it's like, what?
That's badass. See?
Or even like today that Jasmine saw your sticker on Ezekiel's water cup, and it like caught her eye. And then you're like, yeah, that's me. And she's like, yeah,
she's like,
that's
what?
you,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
that is. She's like, oh,
but you know, without even like knowing it, you know, it's like it caught her eye, just like anybody else that sees it out there. Which can I throw in there? Another thing is we are starting for Yes We Cans. We're doing our trash can, and it's going to be about stickers. So make sure to bring your stickers over before throwing that in there before we forget.
I like that.
Yes.
Or that'd be cool. Anywhere you see a trash can, you just smash stickers on it.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Sick. Yeah, that'd be sick.
Please,
why not?
Please, we should have it say "sticker slap me."
Yeah, oh, that's so cool.
Yes. No, and it's just and yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Can't wait to
I got
see that.
I like when we do this and we get ideas like on camera, and it's like, all right, noted.
Yeah, noted. Screenshot that. You said that one there as a screenshot.
Oh yeah.
That was cool.
Screenshot this.
Oh man. So, Little, did you have a good weekend?
I had a long weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if you guys want to hear about it.
definitely.
I feel like this is my favorite part, when I get to talk about myself and everything that I did this week. Because that's all I do. I just kick it with myself and I live my life. And I'm like,
because you're cool like that.
Yeah, I got it like that.
Yeah.
It took a lot to get here, but
But I'm here. Yeah, delaying your flight.
We were born this way.
Can I make my Grammy speech now, please?
Please go ahead.
What did I do? Okay, so I went to Ensenada on Friday. Right? Yeah, Friday. My brother's girlfriend came with me, so we took a little road trip down there. I took her to Ortega's, and we had a shrimp cocktail and a shot, and we had them play a song for us. And then I went to Ensenada, hung out with the fam. I'm really kind of playing this role in my family right now where there's a lot of drama in the family, so I feel like I need to be I'm like the voice of reason, and I'm like la consentida, and I kind of like get along with everyone, and no one's ever really told me shit. And even my aunt asked me like, ¿tú cómo le haces para, you know, caber en todos lados? And I was like, oh tía, soy universal, like. And she just starts laughing.
Oh, hell.
Universal.
I thought you were going to say I'm little like that.
No, she's going to say, oh, tía, soy universal. You know, and then like hanging out with my family just brings out a side of me that I always wanted to develop, but like I kind of just stayed away for such a long time and did my own thing. I wouldn't go over there. So now that I'm older, like, you know, I go there all the time, and I just like kick it with my fam, and I don't know, there's just a lot of shit going on in my family right now, and I'm just kind of there to like help them through it. Just like be even just to listen, you know.
You're lucky that you're like that, though, that you're cool with all of them.
Yeah, and so
just keep it. Don't get even involved.
I can totally see that in my family too, because I like you said, like when you were little, you hold back so much of like your personality y like como like te dejas caer, como dicen en México, te dejas caer la greña, you know what I mean? So like I can totally see that with my family too. Sometimes when they're like, what the, like, where did this come from? You know, I'm just like, well, fuck, that's just, you know. That's just who you are, you know. That's just how I am, you know. So that's pretty funny.
yeah,
But,
definitely.
y luego más en Mexico too. Like I think that's just like a different.
Pura cura.
Cool, yeah, like pura cura, pura. It's all jokes and laughs, and you know, like you say, like I think in Mexico there's a lot of family problems, but they're never like super big. Like they're never like dire situation. I feel like they're more here. Like aquí, like. Hay resentimiento, right?
Pero allá
you know, like,
es más de novela. Like,
yeah,
it's
like,
weird. It's
like that.
It's smaller, but it's like a bigger deal almost. Like,
yeah, because you're closer and you have to
Yeah.
make it like a bigger deal.
That's
but
right.
it's crazy. Drama sucks. So.
Leave the drama for your moms.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm just like trying to get everything in order because we're all hanging out on Thanksgiving.
Oh my god.
So,
Love
but
to
it's
hear
like
that one.
it's like only half of us that are hanging out because
Oh.
remember I was telling you it was like the churchgoers and the like sinners on the left and shit, and yeah, so it's like it's a lot, but I just want everything to be good.
At the end of the day, the sinners keep the churchgoers entertained. You know?
They're the one that trip on us. Like,
Porque mientras está ahí, no, sí, like, los chismes and everything, and then luego a veces
they're the ones that are causing the problems that are like,
oh yeah,
like everyone's just living their life and they're causing the
Diosito Santo.
the tension, and it's like, let us be, yo.
You put us mejor de lejos. And if
So-
I want your energies because
Oh,
you're amazing. Other than that.
So next week is our episode will be dropping the day before Thanksgiving.
The day before?
So Wednesday, right? Well, I mean, isn't
Yeah.
Thanksgiving on Thursday, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, they don't move it. Did they move it?
No.
Because of COVID? They didn't move it because of COVID.
No.
No?
I don't think they've ever moved Thanksgiving. It's always been the last Thursday in November.
Because of COVID.
just
Everything's
wondering,
excuses because
fuck.
of COVID.
What's that?
Oh my god.
I don't know what that is. What is COVID?
Jesus
Plandemic.
Christ. So stay tuned for the other side of the portal. We will be dropping more episodes. We're super excited about the other side of the portal because it seems that we are.
I feel like I'm just waiting to get there. Like we took 30 minutes
We
already.
took
We gotta
30
go.
minutes.
We're
We
out
should. Yeah, we
later.
out. Peace. Meet us on the other side, man. Peace. Thank you guys. Love you.